Hello, Aries. How are you? Okay, I'm doing your December 2019 Love Tarot card reading. In your spread today, children are important, so it may not be about love, it may be about your children, okay? So the first card here is the Six of Shells, and this is a card about joy. So this card is about children. So either you have a child on the way, and it may cause controversy in between you and your partner, or you have children that are already born and it's becoming an issue, or you have childlike energy for some reason, maybe, perhaps. I'm not sure if Aries exhibit childlike energy. Do you guys like sometimes just really get happy and just enjoy life? Maybe perhaps you're spending your month in that type of energy. I'm not sure. Or maybe perhaps a childhood friend is visiting or something like that and it's relevant in this reading. The way that I saw it is that this is about a young child, so that may be how I explain it. And if you don't have children, when it becomes relevant, I might include a love interest or two. Okay, so first card is about children. The next card is the Nine of Gems in the reverse. This is a card about independence. So, say for instance, your child is probably dependent on you if you're an adult. If you have grown children, maybe perhaps you need their help for some reason, you could be dependent on them. But this card is about somebody being too independent. So it may be that you guys need to balance out that independence so that you're not too dependent on your older child, or that your younger child is not too independent and they're not listening to you. Okay, the next card is the Three of Gems card in the reverse. This is a card of work. And it's work, but it's in the reverse. So like if it were in the upright, it would be something like maybe perhaps if this was about you and a partner, maybe perhaps you guys are sharing the workload evenly to say that you're both putting in effort in your relationship. This card is in the reverse. So something about your work life is maybe making you feel off balance or something. So my explanation of this card, we're talking about children. And so something about your work life that's imbalancing your relationship with your children. So it could be that you work a lot of hours, or it could be like that you don't make enough money. Okay, but something here is relevant to your work life, and it is not maybe in the best way that you would like it to be. I don't know if I said that correctly, but like it's not optimal. Let me say it like that. Okay. So the next card is the Three of Wings in the reverse. This is a card of sorrow, okay? There's something about your work life that's affecting your children. It's maybe something, I'm not sure if it's making you, I'm not going to worry about the independence or being dependent, okay? But it's something about this work situation and your children that's making you feel a sense of sorrow, okay? This could be about relationships if you don't have children. So maybe perhaps, I didn't think of this earlier because I did this 2 times. Maybe perhaps someone that you know is having children, okay? And maybe perhaps that person is not able to be independent and they're depending on you. Okay? And then maybe it might affect your work life in some way. Like, say, for instance, you have to carpool with someone, and so you're dropping them off at work or something like that. Something like that. But the way I see this mostly, I'm going to more focus on a young child, okay? So we have sorrow over our work situation and maybe our child. We feel defeated, okay? Because there's something that's not in balance and we want to balance it out better. Maybe perhaps you have to pay child support to your other parent, to the other parent. And that makes sense because the next card is reward in the reverse. you're getting some type of money and it's either causing you a difficulty, like say for instance you won the lottery or something. It may not be relevant in this reading, but just I'm giving you an example of what reward in the reverse means. Like you got some money, but then you had to pay out more money in taxes and it maybe caused a little bit of a complication, or you got some money, you won some money, and then people started asking you for money. That could be a drawback of the reward card in the reverse. In this case, I think this has to do with you having to pay out money for your child. And that's the best explanation I can give you for that card. Okay, so the next card is the Nine of Wings in the reverse. This is a card of obsession, okay? So this card is about you being concerned that you don't make enough money to pay for something for your children. Or, let's see. I'm not really sure. If you say, for instance, if you had a pregnant friend or relative and you had to help carry them to work, the feeling of defeat could be maybe perhaps it was taken away from your time and your energy to have to drop them off somewhere or something like that. But you were just feeling defeat and sorrow because it was affecting your work in some way. Maybe perhaps they're in the car talking to you and maybe it's depressing you because it's a sad story about their life. Who knows? Okay, so let's see. So, reward. Oh, and in that case, if you had to help someone, like you didn't have children of your own, but children were relevant, and it is to your love life. So, maybe perhaps it is your spouse's or your partner's relative, okay? And that's how it could be relevant to your love life. So, anyway, if you did have to carpool with someone to help get them to work or something, you might not feel like it is rewarding, if that makes sense. The reward card does not have to be money, but with it being in the reverse, there's something about it that doesn't make you feel so good. Like say for instance, even if you did win money, when you had to pay out the taxes, then you kind of feel a little bit upset about it. So something about whatever reward you got or didn't get that made you feel not so happy, as if it were in the upright and you like won money, inherited money, received money as a paycheck, something like that, and it was all straight. And then you're like, okay, this is normal. So it's in the reverse, so it kind of feels abnormal. So as I stated before, this is likely about child support because that's the way I kind of saw it. So like I said, you guys have different stories, so I'm just giving you different examples, okay? So I'm not sure if I went over this card. The obsession could be that you're worried about the fact that you have to either pay child support. You could be worried about the fact that you don't make enough money for something. And or you could be worried about the fact that you have to carry someone somewhere and it might be taking time out of your schedule or something like that, okay? Anyway, with the obsession card, you don't want to be overly focused on what's worrying you because if you don't get enough sleep, you can't function. So you need to make sure you pay attention to your own needs too, and that you are focused on getting sleep, getting to where you need to be, and being healthy and safe, okay? Okay. So the next card is the Seven of Gems card. This is a card of frustration. And this card is likely due to like you want to do something, okay? But you cannot do something because maybe perhaps you don't have enough money. Or say for instance in the example where you had to carpool with someone to carry them to work, maybe perhaps your frustration is that it took away from something else you needed to do, you know? But anyway, frustration is what it says, you know? Something is frustrating you in this situation so far. And my best example here could be like I can use this in two different places, okay? Here are two cards over, two cards later. So frustration could be your child comes to you and says, Mom, Dad, I really need to go to soccer practice. And my teacher said I need $240 by Wednesday, you know, something like that. And then you say, oh my gosh, I don't have that money. I have to pay my energy bill or something like that. And I really don't have the money to do both. Something like that, okay? And that is relevant here with the lovers because the lovers card almost had to sneeze. Okay, the Lover's card is about making a decision in between two priorities. So, like I just gave you an example, if your child says, I need to go to soccer practice, I need $240, and you have to pay your energy bill and it's about the same amount of money, you're like having to make a priority and make a choice of which priority is more important. Okay, so the Lover's card in this case does not have to be about an actual love interest. It could be about two different priorities that you have to sort out. Now, it could be that the Lover's card is about love interest coming in, but you know what? I honestly am not sure that that's the case, okay? For Aries, that may not be the case for you right now. So the next card is the Seven of Wings. This is a card of opposition. So as I just gave an example about soccer practice and or the energy bill, that could be the issue is that your funds are low and you're having to make a decision. And so that should make sense to you, hopefully. So the next card here is a crossroads. So you're needing to make a decision in between two choices. Should I pay my energy bill or should I give my child money for soccer practice? Okay. And you don't really know the answer yet. With this crossroads in the reverse, you're making a plan to try to figure out, well, if I work extra 2 hours or 3 hours during the week, maybe perhaps I can do both. Or if I get an extra job, maybe I can do both, or something like that. Now, if they said they needed the money by Wednesday, maybe that might not be relevant. But you're just trying to figure out which way are you going to go, what are you going to do. So you may be making a plan to figure out how to sort this out and make the best decision. Okay? The next card is the Five of Shells. So you sorted it out and you tried to find a plan, but you just couldn't do it, okay? You're disappointed because you can't accommodate both issues that are relevant to you, okay? So the next two cards are maybe interesting. I didn't know what it meant and I had to think about it. This could be mom and dad, okay? Of the child, because I think this is more about a young child, maybe. So mom is an empath. She cares about her child's well-being, and she's like, I really want my child to participate in extracurricular activities. Therefore, we need to find the money to get him his soccer money to bring to his teacher by Wednesday, as she asked, okay? And the dad is the realist. He's the king of gems, and he's like, well, you know what? I cannot figure out how I'm going to find that money, and I can't accommodate that expense right now, okay? So now that's interesting because the King of Gems is about wealth, status, and power. So he probably does actually have the money. But because she's the Queen of Shells and he's the King of Gems, they may not live in the same household. So this is an issue about working together, cooperation, willingness to care. So the next card is the Change card in the reverse. And this card means that you cannot juggle two different priorities, because if you try to do that, it's not going to work. It's going to scatter your energy too much and you can't really accommodate the two priorities. You need to kind of choose one. Okay. So next card is the Two of Wings card, and this is a card about balance. So this card means that maybe mom and dad have to sit down and have a family discussion and say, well, what are we going to do? We need our child to go to soccer practice and we don't think we can find the funds, so we can't really figure out how to make this work. How can we make this work? And so they had to sit down and have a chat and figure out what to do to accommodate the child, to help the child to feel like they are cared for and loved in the way they want to be. Okay? So mom and dad are trying to come to agreement, and that's what the balance card is about. So the next card is the Ace of Shells. Since this may not be about love, the parents may not live together or something like that. There may be co-parenting and child support may be irrelevant. This Ace of Shells card, I'm going to look at it like the Ace of Cups card, like a new beginning. I'm not going to see it necessarily as romantic. And so in this case, the new beginning is that the parents are going to try to work together to accommodate the child's needs. So maybe perhaps if Say for instance, actually the best way I just thought about it to look at this is that mom here was a single mom, dad here had money, and mom was in the process maybe of trying to get child support maybe, and that's why the reward card came here and then the work card was here. Okay, so maybe perhaps the change that happened was that the child support money was the court did validate the mom's need for child support, and so maybe that's why there was a change here. Okay, so the balance now is that mom has funds from dad to help her child to get the things that the child needs so that he can feel loved and cared for. Okay, so that's the balance. And then maybe perhaps that showed love to the child, new beginnings to the child. Like mom couldn't do it by herself, but when she got dad's help, maybe perhaps now they can work together as a family, even though it's maybe a family separated, but they're working together to help accommodate the child's needs. Okay. The next card is the High Priestess. So this is a card of intuition. So in this card, it's about a female wisdom, a female's intuition. So woman's wisdom, okay? I said it 3 times. I don't know why. Okay, so the mom here is actually an empath. And this High Priestess card is about intuition. So it's kind of saying that mom had the right idea. Mom was following her intuition, and that's a good thing to do. So she used her wisdom, I suppose. Now, I'm not telling anybody to go after their other partner, the other parent for child support or whatever, but that's just what I'm seeing in the cards. I can't tell you what to do legally. I can't tell you what to do at all. So anyway, so the Magician card is a card of energy. So now perhaps this card is about making your dreams come true, your wishes and dreams come true. So caring mom wanted dad to care about the child too. And so she's getting her wish come true. Dad has to care about the child now, okay? And so now the dad, now that he has to care, he's now maybe in King of Rose energy, which is the motivator. And this guy, he has multiple projects going on, and he like cares about other people. But one of his projects now, maybe he was so busy he had no time to include his child as one of his projects. So now perhaps this King of Gems is now transforming his energy into that of a more caring parent, okay? Because the King of Gems, he's about money, wealth, and power, okay? But this King of Roses, he is caring about the people around him. Well, both of them care about the people around them. But this guy, he's kind of more loyal. Like he cares about the people around him, and in turn, they care about him. So, and besides that, the motivator, like if you have a child, you maybe want to help motivate that child, show an interest in your child. So, mom did get her wish, okay? She did get her wish because now this is mom and dad here. So now the child has an empathetic mother and a motivating father, okay? So that is the reading for Aries for December 2019. Now, I could accommodate the reading for a lover, but I'm not sure if you guys want to hear that. Let me see if I can tell you, because I did this reading 3 times. So, I'm not sure if you guys want me to do that or not. I can give it a try, okay? So the first part of the reading was still probably about your child, but then when you hit the Lover's card here, maybe perhaps the issue would be, do I choose my child or do I choose my love interest, okay? The opposition would be I have to split my funds, and I'm not sure if I can split my funds to accommodate the child. Because remember, maybe I'm not sure if the Aries person, because the way I just saw this a while ago, I'm not sure if the Aries person is the Queen of Shells, because when she got her wish here, it almost seemed like the Aries is the mom's energy. So I'm not sure. So if that were the case, here, when we got to the Lover's card, okay, so maybe, right, mom's work and stuff was upside down. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going to leave this at children. But if you did have a lover coming in, because it kind of gets confusing if I'm trying to figure out if mom or dad had their money upside down, maybe that's not relevant. But when it comes to lovers, money could have been the opposition here. And let me go through this for you. I did this really well and I got interrupted. So the crossroads could have been that you needed to choose in between your love interest and your child, and you needed to figure out how much money, which one is a priority, and then plan out how you're going to accommodate that priority. Like, okay, I choose my child because my child is important to me and I'm going to care about my child. Or I choose the love interest because I may not get this chance again in my lifetime. So maybe perhaps soccer practice can wait till next year, next season, or we can do it at a different location for a different price, something like that, okay? The crossroads. Okay. The next card is the Five of Shells, which is disappointment. So maybe perhaps whatever you were trying to do, it didn't work out. Like maybe perhaps you chose I probably should have left it with the child, because that's where I picked up strongly, was that this was about a young child. So I don't know if I'm going to go there, but the disappointment could have been that you didn't have enough money to accommodate your child and your love interest. And then maybe when we had the Lover's card, we had these two in connection. I really think this is about the child, okay? But when you have the Lover's card here, the first card that came up was the Queen of Shells. So this could have been that there's a man and he's looking for a love interest, maybe. It depends on, I don't want to get too complicated, guys, okay? The point is, if we have the Lovers and we have these two cards, the Queen of Shells and the King of Gems, maybe perhaps they got together. And then we have the Empath here and the Realist. They kind of have a different thought process. And what else happens? I'm trying to accommodate this, so I didn't think this one out so much. I did it well earlier. But anyway, when you have a change here, you have a change because money was a problem. And then when you have the change here, it's in the reverse, so it means you can't do two things at once, okay? So either you can't have the love interest and the child because you don't have enough money, something to that effect. You have to choose one or the other. And then if that were the case and you did not have children, it seems like you might have chosen love. We have a balance card. You had to figure out which one was important. Should I choose the love interest? Because, wow, I really love this person so much. So these two might be in love and you're trying to figure out, do I choose the love interest or do I choose the child? The first card was joy, okay? And so maybe perhaps it's hard to find a good love interest or something. And so if you chose the love interest, the love card comes up here. And so that's the Ace of Shells card. And the High Priestess is about following your intuition. So maybe perhaps the Aries person had to follow his or her intuition to choose love instead of choosing an extracurricular activity for his child. Now it could be something else. It could be that money was an issue and maybe perhaps they found a better solution to the problem to accommodate the issue that they had going on. I'm not sure. The intuition could have been to get an extra job so you can accommodate love and your child, okay? So the magician comes in with energy, and then this is like your wishes granted. You need more money, so I was gonna say hook you up with a job. Who knows? Okay. So the magician comes in and gives you your desire, which might be a job so you can make more money. And then instead of you just being, now it depends on who you are, but I'm just going to assume that this was the King of Gems. He actually has wealth and status and power, okay? But for some reason, maybe perhaps his child needs a lot of things. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe he has a lot of children. But anyway, when the magician comes in the middle here, we have the King of Gems. He needed more money. The magician came in, said your wish is granted. And now we have the King of Roses, okay? This is the motivator. He has several different projects going on. He has people interested in him. He shows interest to other people. He's caring, okay? This guy could be like a CEO, CFO, or something of a company, okay? So maybe perhaps the magician came in to bring in more wealth because apparently Mr. King of Gems, he has a lot of responsibilities, okay? So his wealthy status was not good enough. He had to go up another level to accommodate his children, okay? And so that would make sense. So I did accommodate the reading for lovers too, okay? So whether this reading was about your children or whether it's about your love interest, I do hope you have a blessed December 2019. I hope you have a good Christmas. I'm glad I got through this reading. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, okay? Thank you.